You know what? We might as well reload. I didn't do anything, so we might as well reload. I was hoping for a stride bonus, but that's not going to happen. So we're just going to go and do that.
We must do what we can do. Here.
Yeah, we're good.
Hey there.
What did we just get? I don't know what we got though. I didn't pay attention. Oh, really?
I'm with you.
Well then, poo. Yeah, exactly. Leroy Jenkins! And then I do it. Well,
Eagle eyes.
it's kind of poop.
We're all in this together.
How are you supposed to clear up this whole thing, dude? Like, honestly.
Yeah. I see where you're going with this.
It's probably an order to this. I just don't know what it is. Oh, I know what this is.
All right.
I am ready.
Oh, I do.
I'll handle it for you.
Of course.
You...
On the altar before you rest a spiked hammer in a kith skull gone yellow with age. Examine the altar. Wrought of ancient stone, this altar has seen better days. Though it's remarkably clean for where you found it, its base is riddled with cracks and the grasping metal ends at its corners are listing to the right. Examine the skull. The skull of its is of kith origin and clearly ancient, having grown brittle and fragile with time. Embedded in its forehead is a strange stone. Its immediate purpose is unclear. Examine the hammer. The hammer is scorched with deep gouges and marred with spots of rust. Its significant heft and fine steel head suggest that the hammer might have once been a quality weapon of war, but has surely seen better days. Save.
I'll...
Pick up the skull. Carefully lift the skull from the altar. Lift the hammer. You gingerly take the hammer, testing its weight in your hand. You discover it's surprisingly well balanced. Last words. The great stone door behind you slams shut with a floor-shattering bang. Sand begins to pour into the room through holes high in the wall. Sand pour into the room, pulling at your ankles and rising higher with every moment. The only way out is the stone door behind you, and it's sealed tight. Corrode ability? I don't have any. Lob a grenade at the door. The grenade strikes the door and explodes in a cloud of noxious smoke and fire. The explosive barely mars the surface of the door, leaving little more than a black smudge behind. Shit. Attempt to open the door. As the sand rises past your knees, Hender scrambles to the door. Edo grips the edge of the door and pulls. The door grinds open an inch. Push harder. Strains against the door, sand rises past your knees, rooting you in place. With a cry of exertion, Eder shoves the door open a few more feet. There might just be enough room for the rest of the party to squeeze through the gap. Escape while Eder holds the door open. Eder holds the door open long enough for the party to escape. As the last person squeezes through the doorway, Eder gives the door a final shove and dives out of the room to safety.
Hey there.
Yeah, unexpected Indiana Jones, but dude, we did it.
All in this together. Yeah, definitely felt that one.
Why don't you walk over all of them? Why don't you? Yeah, let's sleep and get some more fresh fruit. Hey, we get to name the place. We already have an Ericless island. We're going to call this one Sarix. Sarix Island. There you go. The path winds up into the hills, narrowing to little wider than a cart. The cliffs offer a sheer drop down into the crashing sea, the water foaming white where it throws itself against a rock. You realize that what you initially took to be several large, lumpy stones are in fact Eoten, two-headed monstrosities. As you watch one of them absent-mindedly lifts a boulder and hurls it into the sea. The Eoten guffaw, their laughter guttural. Look for an alternative route. Adair points out a narrow ledge that winds along the edge of the cliffs, bypassing the Eoten. You could attempt the crossing, but a drop into the water below would certainly prove deadly. Sneak up on him. Why is some tests based on one person and others is the entire group is beyond me. Pelagina leads you along the cliffs, stepping lightly and keeping low when a heavy grunt from above draws your attention upward. The Eoten glower down at you, one of them pointing down at you with sausage-like fingers. The other below is a roar you worry will throw you from the outcropping. The stone shakes with their approach. It's so dumb. They need to explain better which one is which and stuff like that, because right now it's really unclear. Gotta move to the back. Dude, what's up with the disengage? They don't care, man.
I won't let you down. See that, Ishi? Ah, crap.
So far, so good, bro.
I'm sorry. But you have...
Oh, really? I don't care. Too late. Turned down for what?
Reap the whirlwind. I guess this is it.
Better than that.
Right between the eyes.
I need something stronger.
I'm sorry. But you have to be...
That was horrible.
See that, Ishi?
He's already marked for the hunt.
That was horrible.
Right between the eyes. I don't mean to alarm you guys, but I could... See that, Ishi? I guess this is it.
There we go.
Right between the eyes.
That was horrible.
Dude, she hits so hard. It's crazy how hard she hits. I
need to
really
try
love it.
something else.
She's so strong, dude.
Ishi. Quiet time.
She
see
is
where you're
so
going with this.
strong. I love it.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Fourth. As you descend from the high mountain paths, you find a small camp nestled in the sand. Tense, tired horse with their legs camped out. Campfire is crackling. It seems far too active for an ambush to be in wait. A small group approaches a motley band of kith bearing quality armor and weapon. The foremost, a deeply tanned dwarf, raises a hand in greeting. "You're coming down the pass?" she asks. "Don't suppose that means you've dealt with those filthy Eoten, does it?" "Were you?" She blinks and wipes her forehead with a rag. "Suppose that's a fair question. I'm Zendran, and we're the Adrigan Adventuring Company out of the Living Lands. That's the Adraban Adventuring Company, interjects a tall, finely armored human with skin like chipped obsidian. The dwarf scoffs. For the last time, Franco, no it is not. You want to be the Adrabans. You go be it somewhere else. A pale elf in loose robe, his beard beaded with sweat, sighs and massages his forehead. About those Ilton, he says. I know the face, Waka. Maya squints at a member of the party. An Omawa or azure head shorn short to either side of the crest of black braids nods to Maya. Rua, it's been a while. You two know each other. Ranga knew he matched us up on the shooting range to see if we would get along. Maya folds her arms and tongues the inside of her cheek. We didn't. Oh, okay. I dealt with them permanently. The woman claps. Outstanding. Best damn news I've heard in weeks. The Omawa standing behind the dwarf sighs. And here I thought we'd have an opportunity to test our mettle on this adventure. The rogue pale elf glances at her. Death, find us all in time, Watchka. No need to rush to his embrace. The dwarf gestures towards the tent. Seeing as you've gotten our whole venture started up again, the least we could do is let you share our fire for a spell. Join the camp. You step into the camp and come to sit beside a fire. Although it looks like they intend to put it out before you got there, the Omawa feeds it another log. The dwarf gestures to a pot hanging over the flames. Got some stew left, fish and vegetable, nothing fancy. I'd like to know more about your company. The dwarf taps the scar on his dusky chin. Well, we formed in the Living Lands. It's where Midge and me hail from. She gestures to the short Orlin. She's our mind breaker. Franco hears from old Valia, a sworn brother of the Darkosi Paladini. The tall man clanks a gauntlet against his breastplate and bows at the waist. Zendrin gestures to the pale elf. That's Lislodir from the White That Wends. He handles the magic. And Watchka, she nods to the island Omawa. Left Rautai when she ran out of things to put her axe in. Anyone else you see around's a hireling, but still some of the best. We've been all over the Living Lands and Deadfire both. Midge grins. Right now we're drawing coin of an Adiran noble as a members of the Deadfire Archipelago Explorer Society. The Orlin chuckles quietly, more or less. Huh. I'm sure you got some great stories to tell. The Valiant rises as if this were his cue. Ak, you have no idea. Here we go. Watchka shakes her head at you. Brought this on yourself. Franco ignores her. Where would one begin the recounting of our journeys? The tale of the tentacled terror of Thane, the sordid story of the seamstress of Salona, the perilous perfidy of the Popolvir. He believes he's a chanter, Watchka says, but what he makes up in enthusiasm he lacks in talent. Quiet, you old battle axe. He looks to you. I'd be happy to expound over dinner if you're staying. Know anything about this island? The explorer shakes her head with a snort. Hardly seen most of it. Came on land a few miles that way. She jerks a thumb towards the western coast. Gods benighted Eoten prevented us from going any further. The Valiant rouses, and the Orlin's ears bounce with her vigorous nod. The dwarf smiles. We're looking for some ruins that are supposedly out here. Island so desolate, though, it's hard to imagine anyone building on it. It's certainly sandy. Thanks. The villain laughs, a warm, quick sound that slips away as quickly as it appears. Quite true. I've sent in places I didn't know I had. I weep for the woman who will know me after this place. Oh God!
Oh my.
The Orlin shakes her head. We all weep for the woman with the misfortune to know you. Jealousy, he winks at you. Midge resents my innumerable conquests. Midge crosses her arms and raspberries. Hardly. Eat and rest. You ate with the explorer, sharing tales over the dying fire. Eventually you call it night and they offer you a fallen comrade's tent for the evening. Waking up, you thank the group and take your leave. They wish you safe travel. Aww. That was kind of them. Guys, we made some friends. Sort of. Ish. Ooh, what is this? Oh! Dude, they patched it. Oh, they made it so much easier to sell stuff. I'm so happy. The number is already entered when you click. A large Omawa skull with a small stone embedded in its forehead. As you move the skull, the stone shakes slightly in its socket. Extract the stone. What just happened? Oh, so I could have used that ward stone and then taken the stuff, the loot that was in the thing. Okay. I didn't actually sell anything, did I? You still have the skull? Well, I bet, yeah, I guess so. Examining things is important. Ingati Highland, what? I don't even know what that is. Amira's Whisper. A light fog curls about your ankles. Breathless, whispering voices call to you from the darkness. They cry in half-uttered sentences and moans, gurgles, screams. What few words you can make out among the chorus beg for mercy, for an end to their pain. Step into the fog. Wisps wind around your torso and cling to your skin. The cries become shouts and the chorus screams. The fog thickens until you see nothing but its swirling ghostly shape. Dark forms appear in the fog. They encircle you one moment and disappear the next. Ask Shodi to draw the spirits into her lantern. I think it's time for you, lost lot, to find the light. This way now, that's right. The dense fog swirl into Shodi's lantern. You hear the faint tink of metal striking the ground. You bend down to examine it and discover a small necklace. The stone at its center sparkles with the red of a fire's dancing flame. Unhindered by the fog, you are now free to continue exploring the island. Hey, we got a thing there. Crafted from silver and inlaid with a bloodstone, this necklace bears a short inscription in Aetherin identifying the owner, the former first mate of the imposter's lament. Within its compartment rests a curled lock of light brown air. Spiritual essence infuses the pendant, lending both it and its wearer an otherworldly air. Okay. Cool story, bro. Waves batter Splinter's hull that doggedly refuses to sink. Whoever abandoned this may have left something behind. Sift through the wreckage. Principe color. Rice. Pry bar. That wasn't super interesting.